Hello everyone and welcome to your afternoon stream on Chelsea Fan TV. 1 hour later today than usual. Apologies, that is entirely my fault, guys. I take responsibility. And for all those of you, so many of you in here who are waiting, thank you so much for joining today. What a great way to start. So it's been a rough time being a Chelsea fan recently, and a lot of negativity has been, of course, the hot topic of the owners and people talking about the upcoming protest and what that might look like. But overall, there's a lot of negativity. So I'm going to try today. I will obviously go through the recent Chelsea news that we have, but I will also try and inject a little bit of positivity. Because, guys, we do play this weekend, and regardless with all the turmoil that's happening off the pitch, those players will go out ultimately on Saturday in hope to win and get a result. They will have to focus. They will have to be concentrated. And in order for that to happen, us fans are going to have to get behind them. And that's just the truth. Hello, Stephen. Big up to you. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're well. Hope you are having a good Thursday. But yeah, not far away from that. Why are you not going to Southampton? I'm not too sure where you've heard that, but I am going to Southampton. I will be there before the game, during the game, after the game, the whole shebang. We're doing it all, guys. Chelsea Fan TV, don't miss out on anything Chelsea related, as you guys know. Renier, I've seen you in here quite a few times on these shows, mate. I mean, clearly you are not a Chelsea fan, but yeah, this is the only time I will put your comment up and never again here. The most important thing is the protest receives the full backing of the fan base. Yeah, of course, we will talk a little bit about that today, guys. But I do, as we get closer to this weekend, want to talk about things more specifically relating to Enzo, Maresca and the players, and kind of just leave the off-pitch things just for this weekend aside. That doesn't mean that we're not supporting the fact that, of course, there will be a protest and an important message will be sent out. There's been a lot of divided comments, which has kind of surprised me on social media, and a lot of different views. And we know that in football, of course, we will always have differing views, but Chelsea Fan TV is fully behind this because we all believe that there is an important thing to be said, and sometimes just gathering together and having a voice and just voicing your concerns is so powerful, regardless of how many people. But I am hoping that there will be a decent turnout anyhow. But of course, before that, we do have to focus on the Aston Villa game. Eamon, good to see you. Thank you very much. I hope you're well. Thanks so much for joining, guys. On your way in, please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed so you can get your comments in. And of course, like the stream, guys. I'm well aware that it's 2 p.m. on a Thursday. Some of you may be working, maybe on a break. I'm not. I've got my coffee, and don't judge the High School Musical mug. It was the only one I could find at the moment. But yeah, I love High School Musical anyway. Big up to you, Yosef. Hope you're well. You're going to the protest before the Southampton game. Also hope you're well, and thanks for getting a photo with me after the West Ham game. Yes, of course, I will be there, and great to meet you. Great to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining today. Sean with the when did you start supporting Chelsea? I love that you guys will rather talk about anything else than the actual Chelsea at this current moment. And I don't blame you guys, to be honest. It's nice to kind of just look away from it a little bit with everything that's happening and just kind of focus on some more positive things. At least for me, it's been very hard with everything that's gone on. And sometimes, I've obviously got to come here and tell you guys how it is, but it's very difficult when there is little positive things to say. So going to try and keep it a little bit cheerier today, guys. But when did I start supporting Chelsea? I'm born into a diehard Chelsea family. There wasn't what team do you want to support? It was Chelsea right from the start, literally born and raised in a Chelsea household. So wouldn't have it any other way. Both my parents have season tickets. They've taken me and my brother to games, and I just grew up with it. So that's how I am a Chelsea fan. And not a differing story from most, but yeah. Is your name Greek? No, it's actually Bulgarian, guys. I'm Bulgarian. I feel like you guys don't really know this about me, but yes, I am. I am born in London, but background is Bulgarian. I go to Bulgaria a lot. It's a very big part of my life. But I do go to Greece because it's a very it's quite a short drive, like 4 hours from us. So I do go there sometimes in the summer as well. Yes, Merwin, we will be covering that, of course. We'll be bringing everything to you from that day, so don't you worry. We will have a lot of content surrounding that coming there for you. Big up to you, Mabast05. Premier League doesn't give inexperienced kindergarten kids time to grow. Premier League is for players to come and hit the ground running, not wait for 18-year-old kids to have time to grow. Yeah, well, you've got a great point there, but sadly, this is exactly what we are currently in the midst of, seeing young kids and hoping that they will grow and come to flourish sooner or later and be competitive. But we all know that in order for that to happen, you've got to have leaders and experience in the team. And honestly, I am a parrot at this point, but this is something that I have been saying quite a lot. After seeing what Villa did to Liverpool, why bother going to the Villa game? Well, you say that, but I think one good thing about this game, guys, is that we have had an extra week to rest, whatever that might mean for us. Playing against the league leaders is quite, it's pressuring, it's demanding physically, mentally, to be in the game for the full 90, and again, to draw and being the lead as well is very demanding. So I think that from one side, that is an advantage for us, but we've seen that even with the biggest advantages, that doesn't seem to really help us in any way. But hopefully it means that with all the sound and everything that's been going around, the players, they are actually going to be well focused and take this game as an opportunity to put points on the board. And don't worry, like the fact that, like, even if we were to win this game, and I hope we will, it doesn't mean that everything suddenly goes away and that, we no longer need to fight our corner and voice our concerns because everything is pretty. No, it's not. But a result is really needed. Like, every game from here on, guys, is really must win. And yes, of course, we've got tough games. We've got to play top teams still. But I think it's so important for us to register points on the board. And, as you can see from the title of this video and the thumbnail, we will be talking about Enzo Maresca a little bit in this stream today, because I want to talk more about the actual things that we can change right now and are more tangible, because, of course, like the bigger picture, that's going to take time. And hopefully with what we kind of want to do and have set ourselves as a goal as Chelsea fans to voice our concerns about the direction we're headed in long term, we will also need to kind of focus on the remainder of the season, guys. We have priorities, and the priorities can only be delivered by the players on the pitch and Enzo Maresca collectively, because everything the owners have done and have set us up, that's all been done. What's not been done is also, again, something that we're working with, regardless of kind of how poor transfer window was. But yeah, I guess a great way to segue into that is with this comment that he will be sacked. He is stubborn. He doesn't want to change tactics or formation. He keeps playing Enzo in the middle. So obviously we saw this morning a video came out, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys have probably seen it. There was a video that one of our directors came out and said that Enzo Maresca gets the full backing. Obviously, it was Jonathan Goldstein. He said that he's doing a great job and that he is basically, going to be trusted to finish the job, whatever job he was set out to complete at the start of the season. He will be given the time to do that. To quote him, Chelsea started the season very well. The last 6 weeks have been, finding their feet a little bit more. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, one thing is for sure, and that is that Enzo Maresca will remain manager at Chelsea. And regardless what happens at the end of the season, we will really kind of see what that will look like in terms of his future. But, top four is an absolute priority for us fans, isn't it? And I think, by what they said last year, then we absolutely have to finish in the top four and secure Champions League football. Fifth, obviously, is probably enough too, but I would rather still set that out as a goal for us. So, of course, Enzo Maresca getting the backing means that he will have to do a better job. And we all said that we will actually find out about Enzo Maresca as a manager when he faces adversity and if he finds a way to pull us through. Now, that's been quite difficult because adversity doesn't last as long as it has for us. You know, we said that it was a rough patch. I know I certainly looked at that Ipswich result in December and said, we'll bounce back from that, we'll come back from that. And in fact, we didn't. So now we've kind of crawled further and further into this pit where we're now looking to Enzo Maresca, the guy who can literally make changes right now and create kind of tangible change there that we can see, that can be carried into games. And, you know, judging by the way he set us up twice, similar fashion against Brighton, the fact that we lost twice, I think it's no secret to anyone that something really must change. And, you know, if you have to go rogue and you have to find a way to, obviously with injuries in mind, set us up a little bit differently this weekend, then so you must do. Because again, you're being backed. Us fans want to give you the benefit of the doubt that you can kind of turn this around now and really pull us out of this pit. Yes, injuries haven't helped. We don't have the luxury anymore of having an A team and a B team, etc. That's no longer the case because, I mean, we stripped that in January. So now we're left in a situation where we really do just have to work with what we have. And unfortunately, it means changing something that has now really not been working. The fact that teams are figuring us out, the fact that teams are knowingly setting up against us to, you know, expose our weaknesses. And, you know, it seems regardless of what we do, we've really reverted to this kind of way of playing football where we're no longer even creating chances. And that used to be something that we were saying is becoming a brand of our football, that at least, you know, yeah, we could be scoring more, but we were creating a lot. Now it's gone back excuse me, now it's gone back to a case where we're not even creating chances that much. And it means that, you know, we're not registering shots on target, and all of these crazy statistics are coming out where it's just been, yeah, quite alarming to say the least. But something has really, really changed about the way we play our football. And frankly, it's become a bit stale, a bit stagnated. And I just want to see Maresca take a bit more of a risk, put himself out there and show that he is willing to try something different. Because when you keep repeating the same thing that has the same outcome, then that is literally your call, or rather your evidence that you need to try and change something. Now, does he go and do that away against Aston Villa when we've, you know, registered as many defeats and we've seen, what, 2 Premier League wins and 9 in the last games? Do you go away to Villa Park and change that, knowing all too well that, you know, we're competing with Villa are living out our dream of playing in the Champions League? Villa have made significant strengthening to their squads in January when we only decreased and cut that. And again, looking at the two teams and looking at what this means and how badly we need a result, I genuinely don't see why Maresca wouldn't change something and wouldn't go out and try something new. Now, what that something new could look like, guys, is open, and is honestly, it could look in many different ways. Now, I'm keen to find out, and let me know in the comments what changes you would like to see. What do we do? Do we opt for a back three? Do we try and involve our wing backs like we used to do once again? Do we try and, I don't know, use Neto's pace? Reece James maybe not so much anymore because he isn't as quick as he used to be, but I don't doubt that still having him there with an option to help us build an attack a little bit more, provide overlaps that we don't see. Yes, Maresca has kind of expressed that he's not a big fan of that, but I do think that we need something different. And again, I don't want it to be a case that, like, looking at both situations, like, do you set up really attacking wise, and how attacking wise can you set up against Villa, knowing that, you know, we're missing Jackson, we don't have Noni Madueke available there, Mark Gee is obviously injured, so again, we're not spoiled for choice, but this whole kind of Christopher and Nkunku up top, it just isn't working for me. We might as well be playing with 10 men at times, because again, the presence, there is no box presence. There isn't any touches in the box that are really leading to anything remotely threatening. And once again, Villa are a team that will come at you and can bring the game to you. I want it to be the opposite. You know, we came into the season praising ourselves for the amount of quality we have in the front department, how much you know, attacking options we have. Yes, now we're thin to the ground, but at the same time, I like to think that Chelsea should still be in a position where we're not fearing our opposition, because I don't even trust us to sit back against the Villa team as well. Do you know what I mean? So we're so, like, torn between how we can set up and what we can do, because once again, one-on-one defensively, man-for-man marking, we are poor. We will get exposed. And again, that is a big weakness. I don't trust us to defend our box. Set pieces, we've seen us concede those time and time again, even still this season. We don't really tend to score them either. So again, so many weaknesses there across the pitch that you can expose. I'll bring up this comment here, which says, I want to see Maresca play 3-4-2-1 formation. Jorgensen in goal. Yeah, well, obviously we have been told that Jorgensen for the time being will be our A keeper or first team keeper, whatever you want to call him. So, yeah, I mean, guys, could you imagine? That would be so hilarious. Sanchez in goal. It's not happening, obviously, but yeah, goodness me. That would send, I think, fans into cardiac arrest. So left centre back Colwill, Tosin, obviously, Chalobah, Cucurella. Again, what else would you put out? Because I think that Cucurella, I mean, this is the tough thing, guys. So you would leave James out for this one. And obviously we know that Gusto is a question mark, guys, regarding whether he could play, which is concerning. Oh, no, I see what you've done there. Okay, yes. So Jorgensen in goal, Colwill, Tosin, Chalobah, Cucurella, Enzo, Caicedo, Reece James into midfield, Neto, false nine, Sancho, and attacking mid, Palmer. That's really interesting. And again, thank you for your suggestion, because that is something new. Will I think that Maresca would opt for something like that? Probably not. But again, it doesn't work with Nkunku up top. So I see why you have left him out. Neto, it's a really good shout, because I think his pace needs to be optimized a little bit more, especially playing against Villa. I think that is a really, really crucial part to have. Jadon Sancho, that's not a bad shout, considering we really have not seen Jadon Sancho flourish recently. And there's been quite a lot of, quite a lot of concern regarding his output. And the thing is, guys, you like to think if you've not gone in for a striker, you have goal scoring wingers, but again, they have really been short for goals themselves. And honestly, I just would love for Neto and Sancho to bag goals. When you find yourself in a situation where you're now without Nicholas Jackson, you want to look to your wingers to score goals, right? So again, I think yet to see the best from them. But also that kind of chance creation that we were seeing from Sancho has also gone down. So yeah, Cole Palmer, I mean, it goes without saying, Cole Palmer gets held to his own standards. And, you know, people have said that he has been kind of underperforming. But once again, that is just because Cole Palmer gets held to his own standards. And frankly, when you are as good as he has been and you've carried us through the pits of hell, yeah, I understand why Cole Palmer has been kind of scrutinised. But guys, he can't do it all, can he? He can't do it all. And it is time for some of our other players to step up. I said at the start of the season in one of our games that we're no longer Cole Palmer FC. Well, when we went through that pit, especially with the results that started to go downhill in December, it was still just Cole Palmer on the score sheet, wasn't it? So really, really massive crisis in terms of our attacking threat. And I came into the season really thinking that was that one area that I was fully confident in. You know, build your starting 11, we could probably suggest 2 or 3 different ways of setting us up front. Now we are kind of no longer have that luxury, guys. But yeah, I do worry about Reece James. I think, you know, I worry that Maresca maybe does try a bit too hard to protect him, and it means that, you know, we're not getting the best out of him. It could also be a case that Reece James just doesn't have the pace that he used to. And again, that's not an outrageous shout, considering he's been in and out of injury. You know, he has had a really tough time recovering from each one. And I just think that we have only just seen shadows and glimpses of what he used to be, which is sad. Again, it's sad. But honestly, like, I look at that defense and I still don't feel secure or confident, because each one of those, particularly, you know, Tosin, Chalobah, you see them make individual mistakes, and you just never know, because they're so hot and cold, which game we create a big error at the back that leads to a goal. And again, we've seen it time and time again. It's becoming more frequent every single game that there's a mistake at the back made. And as a collective, individually, I just don't really have faith in our back line. So here we are once again, somehow coming into a season feeling so confident in the depth we have in every department, to now not knowing how to set us up. Right then, so let's see what else people are saying in the chat. If you're just joining, guys, please make sure you smash the like button. Thank you and apologies again that today the stream was an hour late. That was all my fault, but I am here on a redemption arc, hopefully. And yeah, I'm gonna, like I said at the start of this live stream, try and keep today a little bit more positive. So if I appear like really happy, don't worry, I'm not. I'm just really like trying to make myself believe that we can turn it around. And yes, we do need a lift, guys. And yes, winning against Villa will give us a bit of a lift just to make us believe that we can go and kind of maybe fix results a little bit, fix performances. But I just can't explain to myself how we went from putting up one of our best performances under Enzo Maresca against Villa at home, one of like my favorite performances, one of my favorite games I've been to this season, to now going into this weekend full of apprehension, full of worry, full of fear, and just a lack of confidence. So again, that just goes to show how things can change so drastically at our club. Dylan, hello to you. I am good. I'm trying to be good. How are you? Good apart from Chelsea, but when I think about Chelsea, it's hard not to crawl into a bit of a hole, really, isn't it? And I'm sure we all echo the feelings. Having Nkunku won't be good enough as a striker. We need a new striker, 1 or 2 in the window for backup to Jackson. We got injury crisis. Yeah, I know. And how ironic was it that, of course, when we went through another transfer window, not addressing the striker situation, that we hit a wall and we are no longer looking remotely, what's the word? Spoiled for choice up front. And we all knew that as well. Like, people were calling for it when we had Jackson and Mark Gue, let alone when both are out now. And it's always a case that as soon as this happens, we start to hear news about Chelsea's targets for summer, looking at Victor Gyökeres, looking at this player and that player. And frankly, I'm just a little bit bored of that, guys, because it just means we get to the transfer window anticipating something to happen and then nothing happens and we're back to square one. Striker. Honestly, like a parrot, like a broken recorder on repeat regarding that. But yeah, there has been some actual, I want to say, solid news, but again, nothing really solid about speculating what striker Chelsea could be in for in the summer, really, is it? It could be just another case of entering the transfer window and then it becoming a problem for the next window. It gets brushed under the carpet, then we're going into the window again with this target, and then nothing happens. So guys, yeah, it's a rinse and repeat story, really, isn't it? But yeah, honestly, I think that we have to try something new. And this is where I say to Enzo Maresca, fans will not criticize you. Fans will not be upset if we go into a game, try something different, and it doesn't work. Yes, we will be upset, actually. I take that back. However, knowing that you changed something and you actually tried something new will be more, we'll build a little bit more trust here that you are actually opting for something different. Leicester fans did warn us that there gets to a time in the season where Enzo Maresca just doesn't really change his style and his formation, and it just gets to a point where, you know, this comment I want to bring up. Hey, Breezy, how are you? Do you think our target, Mark Gehi, would address some of our concerns at the back, especially with his leadership qualities? Yeah, certainly. I think that having a player that, you know, knows the Premier League, knows what it's like to kind of be a vocal presence at the back could be beneficial, and obviously his quality as well there. I do really, really want us to sign experience. It's been my biggest thing. Of course, we've all really cried out for it, but I think that I'm not too sure in terms of fee and price tag how realistic and what realistic fee for him would be. But I think certainly when we go into the transfer window in summer, we will have to sign some experience. And obviously Mark Gehi has been a target for us. Hello, Bradley. Hello to everyone. Let's see how fans react since the so-called rugby motivator has a week with them. Lol. Trying to find a way to stay optimistic, but finding it bloody hard with this club day by day. Aren't we all? Can't get Osman because we will be screwed when AFCON comes around. Yeah. Irrespective of the backing, the manager and the sporting directors should not be immune from being reviewed every season and not 2 seasons. Yeah, you would like to think so. Want to see Jackson as a left wing. Jackson on the left wing striker position doesn't suit Jackson anymore. I've always said that Jackson strikes me as more of a winger. He gravitates towards the wings a lot. His better qualities as a player is when he brings the ball from deep. You know, he has good hold up play. He can be quite good at dribbling sometimes when he wants to be, but at the same time, when he is in that kind of that target man, he just isn't a target man because he's never in the box. He is maybe that player that can set up a striker, but he's not the player that will, you know, receive the ball and be ready to put shots away, sadly. So I agree, but, you know, he is still missed. And I just think that in terms of an out-and-out number 9, he's the closest thing we do have to the profile. At the end of the day, he was brought in to be our striker, wasn't he? But yeah, guys, some real concerns going forwards, real concerns in defence, real concerns with the depth of midfield we do have. And yet we have a remainder of a season with tough games coming up. And honestly, guys, I've just been avoiding looking at our fixture list because it does look quite scary. We can do this together. We can look at the fixture list together and see where we can get points, where it's realistic to get points, and what our actual chances are of securing Champions League football. Oh, this is actually a really interesting point. I just want to bring this up on screen. Play George right wing. When George came on against Brighton, he looked like the better of our attacking players, for sure. And I just think the fact that we had a youngster come on and brighten things up when we've got so-called expensive wingers, we brought in a lot of expensive wealth of talent up front, yet we had George coming on and showing us how it's done. Yeah, do you know what? It will be a case that we probably see him come on as a substitute. Again, we're not we're not spoilt for choice with how much depth we have on the bench as well. And George is now going to become, in my opinion, a regular substitute up front because, once again, who else do you bring in? It's not like we're stacked with 2 wingers in every department, 2-3 strikers up front, 2-3 attacking midfielders. No. So it's not an outrageous take, but I do think he will be a regular substitute. And do I say well played to the kid? Or do I look further upstairs and say, how did we get to a position where this is our option right now? And it's no disrespect to the player. He's just young and should be playing his football without the pressure of coming on to change a game for Chelsea, you know? Hi, loving the content, keeping it up. See you all Tuesday. Thank you so much. We will look forward to seeing you on Tuesday as well. Thank you so much for all your support on the channel, guys. And of course, to all of you, like, it's a sad time to be a Chelsea fan. And, you know, you guys a lot of the time have criticised some of us for being too positive. Trust me, we do realise that things are poor. There are deeper rooted issues that have been ever present for a while now. And, you know, we do try our best to address them, and we do. But sometimes it just gets a little bit too negative, and we want to try and bring something a little bit positive. Following Chelsea in the last year since the takeover has been a rocky ride, I'll tell you that. But we have gone to games. And this is the thing, like, I will continue to go to the games to support the players. Like, I will continue trying to back the team because we have things to achieve for the remainder of the season. That doesn't mean that, you know, I am perfectly happy with everything that's happening at the club. No. I will be there to obviously voice my concerns and say what changes I'd like to see made, and, you know, kind of just the obvious, really, of what the club is missing at this moment in time. But, however, those players still need to secure a Champions League football. This manager still needs to secure a Champions League football. We still need to win the Conference League. We still have things to achieve. And by going to the games and getting behind the players and, of course, just trying to grind out results at the end of the season is equally important as voicing our concerns to the bigger picture. Yes is the one-word answer to that. The protest on Tuesday before Southampton should be the start of change, where the owners change the model, but it's very unlikely that this will happen. Hopefully the protest wakes up the owners. Well, look, I just still think that there's something quite powerful in fans gathering and expressing a concern. I think the least this will do is just send out a message that we're not happy and we don't really know where we're headed. And this is the biggest thing, right? It's not about being spoiled. It's not about being entitled. It's just about the lack of clarity and the lack of what's the word, like the vision. I don't know what the project is anymore. Like, where are we headed? What are the goals here? When are the goals set for? And this is the actual problem, that I'm not too sure what direction the club is going in and what are we set out to achieve here. And because it's been changing so much and we hear different contradicting things, that makes you as a fan lose trust even more. Just the fact that we want a little bit of clarity, even if it means coming out and saying this is what we're set out to do, this is what we want to achieve. But yeah, it just seems like there is a lack of transparency, and that's where the biggest issue goes. You think we'll draw on Saturday and take a point? Well, if it's a really tough game and, you know, Villa bring the game to us, then some might, over the course of the game, say that's a positive. But for me, I'm going into it wanting 3 points. I don't really care about our current circumstances. I really want us to win this game. Might as well put me up front. I'll do a better job. Used to play striker when I was in year 11. Great, we'll sign you up. But only if you fit the age bracket. You must be between 17 and 22, I'd say. Otherwise, not good enough, mate. Sorry, we can't sign you up. But yeah, so, oh, look at that. I love how I said I'd bring up the fixture list, and then I didn't bring up the fixture list, but this person has kindly laid out our next games for us. So let's go through that. Whoever you are, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing my work here for me on the channel. I'm just so good at this, aren't I? So obviously Aston Villa at the weekend, fantastic. That's going to be a tough game in itself, but we have the advantage of having a week's rest, and we didn't play the league leaders yesterday, so that's an advantage. We also haven't been playing in the Champions League. That's another advantage there that sets us apart, hopefully with a bigger advantage. But we're playing in Aston Villa. Again, I will say this, I'm jealous of Aston Villa at the moment. Do you know why? Because, again, they are very much focused on the remainder of their season. They have goals to achieve, and they shopped with those goals in mind. Once again, Chelsea thinking about their bigger future here, the bigger picture, the utopian future, the big long-term project. We didn't address what we needed in January. So once again, that's where we're set out differently. So really interesting game. But guys, we need 3 points. You know, it cannot be another loss. Otherwise, I dread to think how much this ship sinks even more. And, you know, the fact is that if we open and look at the league table, which I will do, I promise. If we open up the league table and we look at the results, obviously Aston Villa drawing yesterday meant that they didn't climb up as further as they wished. They are 9th, level on points with Fulham in 8th. We are 6th. Yeah, we're 6th. 4 points separate us. So with the context in mind and how big this game actually is, it is crucial that we get points on the board. So with that saying in mind, obviously Southampton next week, our first game at home in ages. And of course we know that that's the protest that is set out will be happening before that game. Again, Southampton at home. I like to believe that we've got 3 points in the bag for that one. Right, guys? Right. Then you look at Leicester. Again, Leicester, that's at home, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. And it's another opportunity to register 3 points. So out of those 3 games, I want 9 points. That's it. I've said it. That is it. We need 9 points because then we go to play Arsenal, Tottenham. I mean, usually with history, I love how you put 3 C's there in Tottenham. With history in mind, that should be 3 points. But then again, we shipped 3 goals against Tottenham, and that goal we had to chase a lead because obviously Cucurella decided to go ice skating in that one, didn't he? Brentford, again, Brentford is an interesting one, guys. And I want to say something on Brentford is the fact that that game at home gave us our first signs of frailties, which led to us then losing games, drawing games, etc. And it meant that we went on a bit of a streak there afterwards. But that was a tough game. Don't think otherwise. Obviously, yes, we won it, but it was difficult. It was more difficult than needed to be. So yeah, first signs of frailties actually began in that game, and then obviously we beat Shamrock Rovers, and then the bad run began with the draw against Everton. And then obviously Fulham and Everton next, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, that's tough, guys. That's why I say 9 points in the next 3 games, because I don't even know what the rest of the season looks like. And again, we're going to run players into the ground with how many minutes they're going to play. Again, we're not in Champions League football. We're not playing as intense minutes as other teams are. But the very fact that we're lacking depth now with injuries and things means that we will run players into the ground. So I do worry about how that remainder of the season will look like for us. But yeah, so thank you so much, by the way, for bringing that up on screen. Sorry, my mother sent out a shopping list for me, but sorry, mother, I can't actually go shopping right now. Right then, how is everybody else feeling? Fact, 9 points, anything less. Right, that's it, Jason. 9 points and nothing less, because otherwise I'm not too sure. We needed more players coming through the door because we got a lot of competitions. We got FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup, Conference League, which we will win that easily, and the owners should be ashamed of themselves. Emphasis on that last point there. I'll cover it centre back for us. Yeah, guys, there we go. We've built a starting 11 just from everyone here in the chat. Hopefully, that will be enough to pull us through. Hello, Prem Talk. Thank you so much for joining the stream today. I hope you're all well. I actually believe the summer window was good. Maresca showed what he can do with then came Everton away and he stopped, and not cause he doesn't trust the squad. It's that he is stubborn. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? That and this is a bit of a wild thing to say, maybe it's not, but I feel like when we weren't really playing what Maresca's style is, we were playing better football. Like if you pan back to last year and our sweet period, as I'm now calling it, we were playing games where, we were playing on transition. Maybe we didn't have as much possession, but we were also doing much more on the ball, off the ball. We were hitting teams on the counter and we were playing better football. Now that we are keeping possession and now that we're, playing out the back and we're playing Maresca's style of football, we're doing nothing. And again, you see that with the fact that we have 70% of the ball and not registering a single shot on target. That's concerning. And I just think that the way we were playing was much better. One, for our results, and two, purely from an entertaining perspective. And as fans, we want to be entertained. It kind of reminds me of going into the Euros when I was really excited to see England play because of the amount of attacking talent we had and all the exciting youngsters that had great seasons last year in the Prem, and then it got to the Euros and then we started to play football and then it was like, oh my goodness, where's the good football? Where is the good football? Southgate, change something. And it very much reminds me of that in many ways, because you look to your manager and you want them to change something. You want them to, I want to just start enjoying our football once again. Of course, results need to come. And at the moment, we are in a position where it's results over performance because we need points on the board. But I also think that we're not enjoying our football anymore. Like, guys, I literally in the last couple games wanted the ref to blow his whistle at minute 70. I just couldn't watch anymore. In a knockout tie, I didn't believe that we would overturn a 2-1 deficit, and so we didn't. And I would much rather the game had ended earlier because I had no belief that we were turning that around. That's how dire things were on the pitch. Then again, Brighton in the league, same thing. You don't see anything remotely different. Substitutes aren't changing the games anymore. And frankly, how can you expect them to when you look at the bench and you just need the starting 11 to finish a job? And that's not happening, is it? So, of course, we're going to have players like Tyreek George coming on in games, Dewsbury Hall coming on in games. But no disrespect to the individuals. Like, are these the players that are going to help us grind out a win when we really so desperately need it? I've gone really blurry for some reason. I don't know. Oh, there we go. I'm in focus now. Even my camera is bored of me. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that our summer transfer window was good. It was certainly better than the January one, yeah. But I just still think that we left a lot of voids in this team, which ultimately we've come to a point in the season where here we are. And, you know, for those of you that watch Chelsea Fan TV a lot, watch my channel, I literally said after the 6-2 game against Wolves that I promise you we needed a striker. And here we are. We are at a point in the season where we do need a striker. It's very easy when you score 6 goals in a game to think, we'll be all right. But you've got a whole season ahead where so much could happen. And there we go. That's how we've ended up here, where Jackson, our sole out-and-out number 9 with Mark Gee, who, let's be real, was never brought in to play regularly in the Premier League anyway. And now we're just left with Nkunku. By the way, a Christopher Nkunku who was literally told and informed he's not part of our plans here at Chelsea, that he's considered for sale, that a moment a good offer comes in for him or anything, you know, remotely close to that, he's gone, you know? He's not a Chelsea player. And you're expecting him to start and inspire change and motivation in a team that's going through such a bad patch? Well, it's not going to happen really, is it? I'm pretty sure he stopped even putting blue balloons in his sock anymore because he doesn't really care. And again, I can't really blame the player because I think he's been let down massively by those who brought him in. To be a first team player and then just to be left to rot on the bench, not even be a second option. And now, yes, just because of circumstances and injuries, he is. But sadly, this is this is just the case. Hi, Arthur. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. How are you? Right then. So, yeah, good point. Marky was brought in for profit anyway. 18 years old. He was, 5 million? I mean, Barcelona fans were quite happy that, you know, he'd go away and potentially get minutes because decent player there. And I don't mean minutes at Chelsea, but, you know, they knew that Chelsea would ensure good business on him eventually. And just quite happy to see a youngster do well. But yes, very, very poor planning and poor preparation has led to us falling in this pit at the moment of where we are. And it's, once again, let's rewind back to the point. Enzo, Maresca and the players. There's literally, we can send out our messages to the owners and let them know that we're unhappy. But ultimately, these players and this manager are still going to be working together till the end of the season in hopes to secure Champions League football, in hopes to win us a trophy. But yeah, it's tough. It really, really is tough. But nothing else in terms of news. Of course, the players are going to be set on training, but I just do worry a little bit about them as well in terms of they're quite low on confidence, many of them anyway. They don't really they haven't really played at this level before moving to Chelsea. They haven't really had that kind of CV, if you'd like to say, where they can come into an environment, such a high-pressured environment at Chelsea in the time they did, and are expected to deliver results. So, yeah, again, poor planning, poor preparation has led us to being in this moment. Exactly this. We have made a difficult job even harder, failed to reinforce the squad. In January, we actively made the squad weaker. I'm worried about picking up potential injuries, going to be tough. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you make a great point there, making the squad weaker. I think the whole part of the loans and the loans that were made out, again, we're very business-minded, very financially driven. It's not about cutting down a bloated squad. It's about, if you think about every individual loan, it makes sense because the teams they've gone to, they will be guaranteed minutes, more minutes than Chelsea anyway. So that means their market values are going to be boosted. So once again, when it comes to moving them on and finding permanent transfers away from Chelsea or whatever, they have more playing time. They have more minutes up their belt. They're going to be much, much more, worthy of a bigger market price. So again, financially driven. Business. And we're not stupid. Of course, we know they want their businessmen at the end of the day. You know, they don't become a billionaire by not understanding how these things work. But then again, I choose to believe that that's you thinking about the finances more than the actual football at this current moment in time. And us fans, we don't make money. We strive off our team doing well. We're dedicated to the team, playing well, winning stuff, being competitive, etc. So you can't impress us with that. Yeah, obviously, if we can generate money for ourselves, so we can address things, perfect. But nothing in me believes that you want to go and secure a top target, get a striker in, etc. But hope Maresca gets given the players he wants in summer, transfer window, give him experienced centre back, proper wingers like Mateo Kudos, proper striker like Osman or Gyökeres. Maresca will cook. Yeah, well, again, like we have heard some news on Victor Gyökeres. He could be a potential target, but once again, targets. You know, we hear about Osman every single window, gets whispered into our ears. You know, we get teased with the prospect and the thought, and then nothing. And then it's like, yeah, we love to be involved, we love to be linked with players, but then when it comes to taking the action, I'm not too sure. So I can't even be excited at the prospect of signing a striker right now at this current moment in time. I don't see Jacob on the fan cams. Hope he is all right. Yeah, Jacob is okay. I actually haven't seen him in a while, but then again, Jacob goes to away games and I only do I do all of the home games, so I don't really get to see him apart from at the home games. But I'm sure he is fine. Love our Jacob. Big up to Jacob. Renato Vega and Felix must be in the squad and given minutes from next season. Scared for the Conference League, Real Betis and Fiorentina, real threats in our current form. Well, Betis play tonight, don't they? They play tonight, second leg. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, look, on paper, we should be winning this competition, but football's not played on paper. A lot of things can happen. It will be really interesting to see, but I still choose to believe that we will win the Conference League. What's your favorite Chelsea shirt? Oh, I love this question. I have a few. I think my favorite, or the one that I probably wear the most, is the 04-05, I think, away shirt. 03-04. It's the white one with our old logo. It's a really, really good one, the Fly Emirates one. Absolutely fantastic shirt. You can probably see me in it on my social somewhere, but I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. And then also our away shirts in, why do I love the away? I just always love the away shirts. I mean, obviously classic home kits, probably just all our Samsung ones, but away kits are the one that we in the year that we won the 2012 Champions League, if you guys remember that. Come on, Chelsea. Yes. How are we going games without a recognised striker? Chelsea aren't a project club, of course not. And yeah, okay, we can accept to be a Chelsea project club if you tell us what the project is. I would play Neto, false 9. This is the thing that I'm seeing more and more. Try it. The players who bought in the summer, like Vega and Hall, played in the Conference League, should be playing more games and should have kept Vega in the squads. Yeah, a lot of people say that, but if the player was keen on moving away, you know, why keep a player who was probably told one thing upon arrival, told he might get regular minutes, a versatile, someone that can play maybe as a left back into midfield as well, but yeah. Clearly that didn't go to plan either, is it? So quickly, 6 months? But yeah, I agree. It would have been a good option, especially to have now. But I'm not too sure. But yeah, guys, 65 of you in here. Thank you so much, everyone that is watching. Just a quick reminder to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I always feel like a teacher when I do this, but we are currently on 36 likes. Can we get that up to 50, guys? That would mean a lot. Help the channel out. Get to 50 likes and that will make me happy. Thank you. Just a quick friendly reminder there. But yes, guys, honestly, I choose to feel a little bit more optimistic heading into it, because I just feel like when there's no football and things are so dire, you know, we just go down all our rabbit holes, feeling sorry for ourselves and just wishing things could have been planned, prepared better, done better. Things could have been different off the pitch, but ultimately those players are going to go to Villa Park and are going to have to grind out a result. And if we see Maresca set us up in the same way, then that will tell us more about his management than anything else. And again, I said we'd learn the most about him once we see how he faces adversity and how he kind of helps us bounce back. Yes, okay, we have injuries, but other clubs have injuries as well. And honestly, I don't even want to really bring context into this one, because again, the players that are available there are players that should be grinding out results anyway. They're players that are capable of getting 3 points. They are players that absolutely should be getting us wins on the board. So let's see a lot of Conference League talk. Who do you prefer for our next Conference League opponent? Copenhagen, Betis, Ghent, or Heidenheim? Well, Copenhagen play Heidenheim tonight, don't they, in the second leg? And I think actually they're a goal down, so they have overturning to do. But they're at home. They could probably win that and go through. I mean, I'd still probably back Copenhagen to get through on that one. Though Heidenheim, a surprise team there. I think they were quite, they look decent, and I think that shouldn't be underestimated, but probably I'd say Ghent or Heidenheim would be better. Yeah, but again, I think either of those teams, Chelsea should have quality to come out on top. But again, football isn't played on paper, is it? So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I saw Villa yesterday, and I'm afraid they will beat us badly. Well, hopefully not. Let's have some faith. 1997, 1999, Autoglass. Yeah, Autoglass is just such a quality one, isn't it? And here we are in this day and age. Definitely when you compare those shirts and then having 3 as a sponsor up front, very, very different, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Which clubs in the other leagues, such as Liga and La Liga, Bundesliga, and Serie A, do you support? You know what, guys? This might be quite boring, but I don't really support a team in another league. I support a team in the Bulgarian league if there is anybody here that is from Bulgaria, and that is Levski Sofia. They're my Bulgarian team. I am from Bulgaria. That is the only other team that I really support and actually feel happiness with in winning. With the others, don't really care. Never really have owned a shirt from another club except for Chelsea and Levski. They go hand in hand, and there are a lot of Bulgarians that support that sort of pair, if that makes sense. And again, they're both blue, soft spot. But yeah, so I watch a little bit of that, but I don't even really watch a little bit of that. But yeah, that's it. Sorry if that was a really boring answer. But yeah, a lot of Bulgarians love Barcelona and Real Madrid as well. I think growing up, I obviously watched a lot of those. Probably, yeah, but I don't believe in supporting another team as well, if that makes sense. Hello to Nazira, thank you so much for watching. I want to see Chelsea Real Betis in the final. What a game that would be. I didn't know who Maresca was until last year. When Maresca was still playing, we didn't even know who he was at that time. Yes, I honestly absolutely love our old Chelsea badge, and yeah, quality, isn't it? I think I have a scarf somewhere. Let me pull this down. It's a really strange colour. I got it when I was really young, but yeah, I love the old logo. Nothing quite beats it. Cool to hear, yes. Nina, Chelsea owners a must buy Malaga so that Chelsea players can go there on loan. Maresca, former club. Oh God. Yes, Christos Stoichkov, Ballon d'Or winner, one of our greats. What a player, what a guy. Absolutely love him, and I love that you know who he is as well, Arthur. Really, really great. But yes, guys, another 10 minutes here left on the show today. You will of course get your evening stream tonight as well at 8 p.m. So anything else that you guys want to talk about before we go? We obviously have a little bit of time, but I want to kind of end this on a positive today, because I did set out to have a good positive stream with you guys. False hope, false optimism. And again, what keeps you going as a fan is that hope, isn't it? So yeah, let me know if you have any questions towards me or anything else that you would like to talk about. But yeah, honestly, I just think that a lot of fans, and I've heard this take, think that, you know, if fans are willing to kind of, you know, go and protest and want to have their voices heard, that they shouldn't equally be going to games, and they shouldn't be equally, you know, like attending and backing the team, because it goes against that. But, you know, I said this, you know, if I didn't go, someone else will go. And at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. I still want to get behind my team, and I still want to support us, right? There are still goals to achieve. We still have targets to hit. And until then, we must support. Again, I just think we owe it to the players as well a little bit. At the end of the day, they've been put in a situation where they're all learning on the job. They don't really have experience and leadership there on the pitch to learn from. So I think that can be found in the fans, you know, if that makes any sense. And I just think supporting them, just showing them that we do have faith and that we can still hit our targets will be quite meaningful, because at the end of the day, we're criticizing those that put them in this position where they are having to learn on the job. And I think that ultimately we, as fans, as, you know, people who love the club, support the club, owe it to the team to get behind them and support them. And that's not to say that I'm not going to criticize the deeper rooted problems, and, you know, I'm not going to talk about what needs to change, what hasn't been good enough, of course not. But at the end of the day, I'm a match day going fan, and I will go to the games. Just something really important that I just wanted to to put that out there. But yes, guys, what else can we talk about? What do you think about the Bowley buying a share in the Nottingham Cricket Club? Do you watch cricket, Nina? To be quite honest with you, no, not really. I do kind of, you know, I've watched stuff around, read some stuff around it, but I can't say I'm a big cricket fan. Sorry to disappoint you, but again, it doesn't surprise me. It's obviously business minded, isn't it? Again, a lot of financial driven decisions. What do I think of Lookman at Chelsea? Well, yeah, he's had quite a few Champions League goals, hasn't he? Making big strides. Honestly, I just want a goal scoring player to come in. So by all means. Isn't Tosin meant to be the missing piece for the leadership role? Well, Tosin is our most experienced player on paper, you know, age-wise, and he is also the most experienced in terms of Premier League experience. 3-4 years at Fulham. So if you look at it from that side of things, then yes. But does he have leadership? Really? Is he a player that you look to bring in leadership? Nikki says, I'm not being funny, but how can we support this? True, you make a good point, but yeah, there we go. What Jordan said, I just can't, as much as things bother me and as much as I really, really hate what has happened and the decisions that have been made from the hierarchy here, I still love Chelsea, right? That doesn't change from today to tomorrow. And I will always believe that hopefully, like, one day we can come out of this pit and things can be better. We can enjoy our football again. And, you know, obviously, like, so jealous watching teams play in the Champions League and compete in this new kind of format of the competition. And, you know, we're nowhere to be seen. It's hurtful, isn't it? Like, it's not very nice. Obviously, we turn our attention to the Conference League again next month, but yeah, not the competition we really want to be in, and not the competition that we belong in, right, guys? So I think that's a quite an important one to keep in mind. So obviously, I'm looking forward to those Champions League nights again. Someone said to me the other day, well, you know, don't be hopeful because you're not going to be in those for a while. Ouch. I still remember that last Real Madrid game at home I went to, and I said I'll go, even though the football at the time, guys, if you remember, was also pretty awful. We were already on that downward trajectory. And I said, you know, I'm going to go because I don't know when I'm next going to see us play in the Champions League. But let's have a look. What do you think of Esteval Willian? Yeah, well, something to look forward to. But again, how much minutes does he get? Even though, again, we were led to believe that he would be playing regularly. And with how things are going right now, I would have thought that he'd have more competition at the start of the season. But now, maybe not so much. But we will wait and see what happens with him. Just going to enjoy watching other clubs play actual good football whilst Chelsea sort themselves out. Hi, Daniel. Hope you're well. Problem is Maresca is trusting Sancho and Neto, who are more creators and scorers. Both can't play together. Yeah, true. But again, I think Neto would have had maybe twice as many assists now. Like, periods. If we had a striker, Neto's crosses being met by someone in the box, like a target man, he would have, provided a lot more assists. And maybe that's not exactly what we needed and we want more goals from him. But at the end of the day, I still think numbers would have been so much higher, both for goals and assists, if we had a goal present. A box presence there in the name of a number 9, because behind Cole Palmer, I believe Neto's the best crosser in the team. And again, it's like another big what if, and it's a bit of a talent wasted there, because those crosses, they get spammed in, they don't go anywhere, they don't get met by anyone. And now what's happening is, because of the way we're playing, our wingers get marked out the game. They get doubled up on, and all you can do is recycle and attack, and it's the same thing with what we have been doing. So yes, you are right, that it is a problem, but we are looking to them for goals, right? That's the truth. Conference League draw tomorrow for Chelsea. Indeed, feel bad for Enzo Fernandez and Mark Correa. Will be 3 seasons without Champions League nearly if we miss Champions League again this season. I know Enzo Fernandez going from the pinnacle of football, of winning the World Cup, to coming and playing not even in Champions League firstly, and then in the Conference League. Yeah, I'm sure that he has dreams, but that's again another thing that would have been painted out in this project for him to look forward to. But yes, guys, ultimately the message is, it's clear. We need to win games. We need to get back into results. Of course, results do mask the deeper rooted issues, but it doesn't mean they go away. They're still very much there, but we really, really need to register points on the boards. But yes, guys, that's all from me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. Once again, apologies that it was at 2 instead of 1 p.m. today. I hope I am forgiven on that front. But thank you so much to everyone that tuned in today, guys. Like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're not already, and also if you want to check out my personal channel, you can also find Chelsea content on there from me. That's Nina's Chelsea Corner. I will link it shortly in the chat and also in the description. That's Nina's Chelsea Corner. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Stay tuned for tonight's show, 8 p.m, guys. You will be brought some more Chelsea news. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Thank you.